All right, welcome to Gen X Rated Thursday edition. How we doing, Billy?
Not too bad. A little bit chilly. It was cold this morning, but the sun's out now and it's supposed to
Tuesday
warm up.
edition, buddy.
It's Tuesday.
Thank you. I said Thursday. Getting way
Feel-
ahead of myself.
Feels like it could be a Thursday.
I know. Up here, it's already Thursday.
Every day seems the same way lately. I mean, it's just, you've got a blithering, demented idiot raving on and on about this, that, and the other. I mean, insulting allies and then demanding they come to your aid, kicking off a war that's basically threatening the whole world economy. The Epstein files are still out there. That's not going away. So yeah, pretty much it feels like Groundhog Day. So Tuesday, Thursday, what's the difference? They all end in Y. And by Y, I mean WHY. Why the fuck are we here? But
That's so true. And
again, I digress.
Mondays are a little bit more difficult. You hope that you don't have to listen to Trump on Saturday and Sunday since he's golfing and doing his fundraising and dancing while troops are in harm's way. But Monday's pretty tough, Monday morning, and then boom, he's back spewing just nonsense. It's such a time suck. I don't even know why he gets so much airtime. It's like, other than Hegseth saying the quiet part out loud that they can't wait for Larry Ellison to take over CNN
Yeah.
to support the regime that's talking nonsense. That's why he gets the airtime. I don't know. Does he get ratings? Are people actually watching this stuff?
I don't know. I wonder about that. And when is the press corps actually going to push back? I mean, and he only calls out like female reporters with the, quiet down piggy, or the latest one where he's, that's borderline treason. I'm going to be watching you. There's not one guy there that can step up and say, that's inappropriate, sir. And what do you mean by that? Why would you say that? Nobody.
I think the guy from PBS was one of the people that was staying on point. But you're right; they're not necessarily defending each other, but they are staying as close as they can on point because he's all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, they need to keep on point, but I'd like to see somebody stand up and say inappropriate.
Yeah. Well, they'd probably be hauled out and beaten. You saw they snapped that one Marine's arm. So
Yeah. I mean, this is a thug regime, and there's a, is it Denmark or Sweden? They study democracy and the strength of democracy around the world. And apparently we have fallen out of being a liberal democracy. We're not on our way. We are there.
it's amazing too because that was only in 1 year that happened.
Hmm.
Exactly right. We fell off the democracy map first time in 50 years. We're not on the list of liberal democracies. In a single year, we went from 21st to 51st. I
Great
mean,
job, Trump.
he's amazing. The same guy that wants to change the columns on the White House from Ionic to Corinthian because it's a little more like an ancient oligarchy, a little more comfortable.
He's very comfortable with an oligarchy. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, he thinks he's already there. And yeah, the threat to our democracy clearly is real. And it's all kinds of factors. This war in Iran, yes, he did. He told the NATO members and the neighbors in that area of the Middle East that they need to come and help. They owe it to us because we've been protecting them. Nobody was that interested because they weren't asked beforehand what they thought. Will you support this? He just did it. Did it on a whim. Dark at night, no moon, midnight. Amazing how fantastic he was.
Hmm.
He did all this, but um, they're not interested, and they let him know that they weren't interested. They
Yeah.
didn't
I
sign
mean,
up for it.
was it
So
Germany? Was it Germany that said this is not a NATO war?
they said it. France said they weren't supporting it because they didn't ask for it, along with other countries. The Brits are doing the bare minimum, and today on Truth Social, he said, "We don't need any of your help, okay?" And then basically hinted that he'd pull out of NATO. And then when they asked about, congressional blah blah, I don't need it. I can do anything I want. Kind of like Cuba. I'll probably take it. I don't know. It'd be a real honor, but I'm thinking about taking it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how much rope they've given this guy. It's just they've given away all of their oversight, all of their power. Because why? Because they want to be close to this guy and grab what they can with both hands.
Yeah, the same guy that said nobody could have predicted this. Like, who would have thought that Iran would get bombed and then attack their neighbors? I mean, that's just wild.
Yeah. Gee, who would
I
have
mean,
seen that coming?
nobody. I mean, I don't know what he's pointing at, but he really did not have his eye on the ball. I mean, it's
No.
pretty ridiculous.
Pretty mediocre, stable genius, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, this was him yesterday. He's still having a really good time. Susie Wiles, da 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 da. Meanwhile, his makeup job wasn't its best. And I did want to point out that he did have a resignation today, right here. Joe Kent is the national counterterrorism uh, leader, top aide to Tulsi Gabbard, said, I'm done. We had no threat from Iran, and you did this. He said, our only imminent threat is from Trump. Uh, and this guy's a white nationalist. So it's not like he's some woke guy. I mean, his wife was killed by ISIS. They were both served in the military. Clearly, he has his principles that don't necessarily align with the woke, but even he's seen enough.
Wow, when you're losing the white nationalists, you're in trouble.
Except for Heggie. And they're putting all his Heg sets tattoos on tanks and shit, which is really weird.
Yeah,
But
that's concerning.
he's a weirdo in his own right. Um, yeah, so he basically said that Trump, just listened to his own echo chamber, and they just led him to war. He was deceived. Maybe he's given the president a pass, but he's still the guy calling the shots. He's still the one taking full credit for this mess because he thinks it's good, I guess.
Well, he's surrounded by people that all they say is great idea, sir.
Pretty much. And then you have Department of Homeland Security, and I think Mullins, he's going to be subjected to approval coming up maybe tomorrow. But they hadn't published a report on the threat of terror within our own country since well before this war. I mean, it's like the pecking bird is just drinking and nobody's actually at the desk.
He's drinking.
I mean, it's just insane. And then you think Department of Homeland Security, we're talking about transportation. I mean, look at the mess at these airports. Like, this is just insane.
Oh, I know.
I mean, I went through this not too long ago, the massive humanity. Looks like people are handling it pretty well, but it is a lot. I mean, hours of being there. 12,000 flights were either canceled or delayed. 8,500 were delayed. 4,000 were canceled. Well, they told a guy stuck in Miami because they had a ground freeze, which I've sat through based on Trump landing and being on the ground. If he's on the ground, nobody's doing nothing. They told him it would take 2 days to get back to Charlotte. I mean, he was in
Jesus.
Miami.
That's insane.
I know. And I don't know what you do when you're stuck. I mean, everybody else is too. So how do you fix that?
You rent a car,
Whoops.
like planes, trains, and automobiles.
More of this.
Oh,
Yeah. It's crazy. And I don't know why you'd sit at the airport with everybody else like that. It's just some airports have put out emergency cots where they just laid them out in various parts of the terminal.
They had to replace the chin-up bars with cots.
Yeah, maybe they should have thought about that. Here's the cots here. And I'm just telling you, they get sick of people lounging all over the gate. Like, what are you supposed to do? They don't make announcements. They're understaffed at these gates, and you don't know what's happening. So they carted out these Colemans. You can see there's pillows and blankets that look like they came off an airplane. People are stuck there. And when you're given no information, you can't make new plans.
Well, no, and where are you supposed to go? I mean, that's not your home airport. It's not like you can drive home and come back.
Exactly. And the terminal I was at, or at least the gate, it was filthy. I mean, people can't even pick up after themselves. There was napkins and food wrappers and just on chairs. Like, would you just get up and walk away from that? It's very strange.
So gross.
But yeah, Austin, we saw lines at 4 a.m. They were out the door. It was ridiculous. JFK had 230 flights canceled. Chicago O'Hare had 500. Atlanta 300. And again, where are you going? This is partially with spring break. People will be traveling for March Madness. And again, the Democrats did have a standalone bill to fund TSA. They don't want to fund ICE, but they were willing to fund these TSA agents. And the Republicans said, no, not interested. So
yeah, well, the Democrats need to hammer that message home and not let the Republicans have the high ground by saying, well, it's on the Democrats.
Well, and that is what they're saying. The CEOs from all the big airlines are begging for any kind of bipartisan bill on this TSA. which they're talking to the Republicans because they're just not interested. They don't care. They're traveling on their PJs. I guess Kristi Noem still has access to that plane, or maybe not.
I don't know. That's a good question. And does she get to keep all of her costumes?
That's a great question, but hopefully she wrote it into her contract.
And what
Um,
about her secret special device that she uses on Corey?
well, I don't know. Now that she's the protector of the Northern Hemisphere or Western Hemisphere, or whatever they're calling her made up position, she probably has to fly around a little bit. I mean, I don't know. It's crazy.
God, why don't they just give her a desk and sit her in an office in a window and say, "This is your job. You sit here
Or,
and look out the window."
or she might come under federal charges, so we'll kind of see if
She
her.
should.
A lot of them should. You're
Hmm.
absolutely right. I did want to point out that Department of Homeland Security is talking about multiple airports might have to be shut down because of this shortage. So again, we're not going to fix it. We're not going to meet at common ground on this. We're just going to make people pay that aren't like us, rich.
Yeah. Oh, you can't afford a PJ. Well, that's a shame.
That is a shame. But nobody seems to. The pushback's going to have to start from the bottom,
Hmm.
and hopefully we're starting to see some of that. I think the Save Act is not going to happen. Trump's still kicking and screaming. There was talk that maybe they know it's going to fail, so they can use that and as a means to the election being stolen. Um, there's some big elections going on today, so we'll kind of see. But none of it looks positive for the GOP. So, lie, cheat, steal if you can.
Yeah, they're very good at that. They've had a lot of practice and they're very good at that. Governing, not so good. Not so good. I mean, Jesus, they've knocked us off the list of democratic republics in or liberal democracies in just 1 year. They've done that. They've managed to crash the economy and threaten the rest of the world's economy. So they're very efficient at fucking things up.
Well, and then the double speak. So he'll say, "We only get 1% of our oil through that strait, so we don't even care. We don't even need it." Um, what he did fail to mention was that all of our generic drugs from India come through the strait. 90% of the drugs that are generic are coming through that strait. So if you don't want to pay full price for your drugs, it affects all of us. I mean,
Yeah, they
uh,
just don't think these things through. They're like a dog chasing a squirrel.
well, he did say who could have predicted this. He also pointed out that there was a past president, that praised him and said, "Oh, I wish I'd have done what you were doing." And when pressed on it, he said, "Well, I really can't say. I don't want to get him into trouble." There's only three to choose from, as you pointed out. None of them said they had spoken to him. Surprise.
Yeah. So, well, it was President Lincoln, okay? He still hangs out in the Lincoln bedroom.
But he's really pissed about how I redid his bathroom. Okay.
Yeah.
Like shit. People are wondering why the Board of Peace isn't more involved in this. I mean, isn't that all in the name?
You would think, yeah. I mean, what's the purpose? Well, especially when you've got like the the perpetrators of this war on the Board of Peace, but one of them seems to be missing and nobody knows where he's hiding at or what's happened to him.
Yeah, they had another video came out of Netanyahu making fun of the fingers thing, talking to Mike Huckabee. It's just we live in such a crazy time. I mean, you couldn't really tell, and then people start breaking it down. I'm no AI expert, but I can notice when his tie's red and then it's blue. Some glitches on Mike Huckabee. It's just they're trying too hard to prove that he's alive. And honestly, we went through this with Trump when you were saying, "Oh, we haven't seen him in 7 days," and the excitement kept building until you saw him.
Oh, I know that was such a letdown. That was
And
over Labor Day weekend.
and I don't know that this is the same situation because I kind of feel like Iran, they have a plan. This is not they're not just going to be sitting back idly, and they know who directed this, and I'm sure they went after him hard. So if it did happen, I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, when you start putting out all these fake videos of him having coffee and him, talking to people in masks during COVID, and now Huckabee, who's all in, it's bizarre. It's bizarre.
It is bizarre, and it just makes you wonder, not to go too deep down the rabbit hole, but is it a case of where it benefits Israel for people to think this guy's dead because, apparently, um, Israel's interests and the U.S.'s interests are rapidly diverging. The U.S. wants him to tone it down. Israel's going, balls to the wall. So, hey, I don't know. We can't get to the guy in charge. So I don't know what to tell you. We're just going to keep doing until, I don't know, until somebody makes the call.
Well, I just don't think that country's that big, and with their proximity, and with the amount of firepower that Iran is supplied with from China and Russia, that he would be untouchable. I don't think
Oh,
anybody.
yeah. No, I mean, I have no idea. I'm just kind of
Me
spitballing. But,
neither.
if there's any kind of karma, he is dead because that man's a mass murderer, and just a horrible human being. And you're not really hearing anything about an Israeli civil war anymore.
I know. No. To that point, there's a 7,000-acre wildfire in Nebraska. Have you heard anything about that?
I have not.
No. We
Jesus.
saw them in Israel and Tel Aviv taking down all the closed circuit cameras in public. They're just condensing it, kind of like Hegseth said about Larry Ellison taking over CNN. Like they're restricting what you are going to see. You're going to finally start seeing only what they want you to see.
And
Of
that's a
course,
scary thing.
of course, they won't show bad things in Israel, and those people are not taking it lying down either. We saw that they have pushed back over the last year against this war criminal Netanyahu, but with Trump's support, these judges keep dying that are prosecuting him, and his
Mhm.
case keeps getting pushed back, and it's just a little bit nutty. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Trump says, "Hey, we did it. Everything's great. Sure, 13 service members are dead, and apparently 200 are injured from in Kuwait and from some of the response attacks by Iran that we don't hear about either. We're not hearing anything."
Oh, yeah. No, and when you do hear them use the phrase injured, people think, well, maybe a sprained knee or maybe took one in the arm, but these injuries could be horrific.
Sure. Yeah, a lot of them are still in the hospital, from what I saw. This is coming from the president that said those guys that suffered the head injuries when we bombed Iran before, if you recall, that they were just fine. A little
Oh,
headache.
they're fine. Get the bell rung.
Yeah, no biggie.
Get the
Blocker on
smell
top.
salts out. You'll be fine.
Yeah, and it just really isn't. Um, Yeah, the Cuba thing. I mean, they have no power. There's no electricity rolling through there anymore. So anybody that might be on dialysis or have medical issues, good luck. We don't really care. Instead, we talk about maybe taking taking it. I can do anything I want with it. It's not in a hurricane path. It's got great weather. Like, what are you talking about? You're talking about a whole country of people that live there.
Yeah, I
And you're
mean
going to take it what?
that's a crime in itself. What you're doing, you're starving people. You are literally creating a ghetto island. And I mean ghetto by in the sense that that when the Germans occupied Poland, they rounded up Jews into a ghetto. They sealed them off from the rest of the world.
Yeah. You wouldn't think in this day and age that would be a thing, but yeah, becomes more and more concerning every day that this guy continues to talk shit that he talks. It's crazy.
Oh, I know, and nobody's saying a word. I mean, and the sundowning, which we've seen, we're familiar with this. These late night, just rants and screeds that he puts out. They're just so unhinged.
Yeah. Spiteful, hateful, all those other things too.
Classic Trump.
Yeah. Well, he just can't keep his story straight. It's all about appearances. This is the Kennedy Center. I'm going to pop up. I don't know. The Donald Trump and JFK Memorial. I don't know that name's going to stay. I'm glad they put it at the top because it'll be easy to take off.
Pop it right off.
It
Yeah.
wasn't something that was approved, but I find it interesting that once he took over, they had the Melania premiere. They had some other event directed by him. But other than that, they can't book anybody. So they're closing it for renovations to the tune of $200 million. But in 2019, it was already renovated, and we paid
Mhm.
200 million or $250 million to do it then. So again, it just seems like it's all about his ego. Oh, I can't book it. Let's close it. We'll just make up some shit. I don't know. Who cares?
Oh, yeah. No, literally nobody else exists in his world except him.
Makes him a
Not
pretty terrible person.
Yeah, it does.
The downside is he surrounds himself with other terrible people. So his
Hmm.
financial people, the same way, um, said, how amazing the economy is. They're still saying, Hassett, if the war extended, it wouldn't really disrupt the U.S. economy very much at all. It would hurt consumers, but that's the last of our concerns right now.
Again, saying the quiet part out loud.
It's pretty amazing. But if you think about it, 73% of senators have a median worth of more than $1 million,
Oh yeah.
compared to 7% of the population. So you're not in their club, as George Carlin says, and you're never going to be. Uh,
Yeah. And they don't give a fuck about you, me, any of us.
it's absolutely right. So uh, you're seeing all these old franchises. I guess Domino's, one of their largest franchisees, is filing for bankruptcy. Papa John's is closing 300 stores for underperforming. Wendy's is closing 600 stores. Popeyes, 130 stores. Pizza Hut, 250 stores. People can't go out to Old Standby and eat. It's a luxury.
Yeah.
Not that it's cheap to eat at home, but you can put some cheese whiz on a cracker and call it a night if you have to.
Well, yeah. Or, peanut butter and jelly sandwich and some pretzels. I mean, it's just, they've killed, and you know, this necessarily didn't happen out of the blue under Trump in the past year, but it's been a long, concentrated drive to squeeze the middle class out of existence. And you're just seeing the coup de grace under the orange shit stain.
Mainly because he seems to really enjoy it. So it's going to be a focal point to him because it's just so terrific to see how above everybody else he is.
Oh yeah, listen, this tiny dick motherfucker is he's all about the cruelty. I mean, the reports from the Epstein files about how he loved torturing the one girl, biting her nipples, and he's just disgusting. I mean, this is a guy that got sent away to military school because he was throwing rocks at a baby.
Yeah, great human being.
All about the cruelty.
Now, Trump's been president for 2% of the American history,
Mm.
but he's responsible for 25% of our debt. That's pretty incredible.
Hmm.
I don't know that he wants to put that on his resume, but it does make him look like he's incompetent or just indifferent. I don't know.
Both.
Maybe both. Yeah, good point. So I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about today. He's got the guy from Ireland, I think, is in, and then he was talking shit on the president of Ireland and said he's lucky I'm here. Turns out their president's a female, so maybe know your audience before you make yourself look like a jerk. But
You would probably kick your sorry ass too, because deep down you're a giant coward.
he is a Johnny Coward.
I,
They are
I never said
also, the SAVE Act is still another topic that's coming up. I don't know that it's going to get very far because he doesn't have enough support. When even Fetterman's against it, then things aren't that super terrific. Markowski, yeah, she said too that she would be voting against it.
He
So I
said
don't
that.
think it's going to continue. And the way they talk about it, Mike Johnson, I mean, they just blatantly lie about what it is. You have to show ID if you want to vote. This is about voter registration and
Yeah.
not allowing the majority to be able to vote. At least half the people that don't have passports would have to vote, or would have to get a passport in order to register to vote. It just doesn't make any sense. Real
Well,
ID is in 5 states. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I saw a TikTok the other day from a guy who is very eloquent, very, very well thought out. I think I've sent you some of his stuff. The Defiance Till Death guy. And he was just talking about how they're alienating a lot of their voters with this rural people, working people, people who don't live near the county courthouse, or when they get off work, the county courthouse is closed. They don't have a passport. These are people that, have traditionally voted for them. And again, you're basically taking away their votes. Now, no matter how they were voting, maybe these people behind this act have numbers that say, well, we're losing that vote. We're losing the female vote. So we can't let them vote. We only want the right people to vote, as Christy Nome says. But it's just, it's
Did
an
you say
outrage.
right or white?
I don't think it makes a difference in Christy Nome's mind. I think those are synonymous, but just my opinion.
Well, we know the Heritage Foundation and the 2025 nonsense. Um, they discount a woman's right to vote. She should be home cooking. She shouldn't be working. You should be having babies, and you don't need to vote.
Hmm.
And they're pretty upfront about that. So I don't think it's a big surprise. This is the same Heritage Foundation. Project 2025 is what I was speaking of. This is the same Heritage Foundation that found that uh, voter fraud was at 0.0000764%. Utah just did a study, 2 million registered voters. Uh, they had one non citizen that registered to vote. They had zero non citizens that actually cast a vote.
Yeah.
That's out of 2 million. Those numbers seem pretty good to me. Um, if you recall, in 2021, the Democrats tried to pass a voter ID that required um, uh, having ID to vote, which we know is already a thing, but that failed because Manchin and Cinema couldn't get it together.
Oh,
And
those
then,
two goons.
and then in the end, it turns out Cinema was sleeping with her bodyguard.
Yeah,
Focus.
she was awful. Mansion was just as bad.
Yep.
Um, and I saw something interesting the other day too. It was also on TikTok, which fortunately, I'm still getting some of these feeds. They haven't managed to X them out of my feed yet, but it was a woman talking about how the suffragette movement, um, and basically the overarching point of her TikTok was, "What is wrong with white women? Why are they voting the way they do?" And so apparently, when the suffragette movement was going on, they joined with black women because black women got shit done. They organized.
Will do.
They still do. They made shit happen. They created the National Association of Colored Women, and this is going back into the 19th century. And they were allied, but as soon as that suffragette movement came through, and the women and women got the right to vote, and then the black women were, hey, what about moving on to black people voting? The white women were out. Sorry, sister, we don't need you anymore. And we're still seeing that. We saw that in the last election with white women that voted for this shit.
Yep.
Um, Maybe that would change for the midterm. Maybe that's something that scares them, and that's why they don't want them voting. But it's just ridiculous how much damage uh, racism has just done. I mean, and it's been baked into the history of this country. But white women, if you voted for this, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Well, and back to Project 2025. I mean, they'd be all about getting rid of the 19th Amendment, women's right to vote. Period.
Hmm.
And some women would be okay with that is pretty strange. Um, Again, you're finding that the only people that I'm finding, I saw a Georgia rep official voted illegally 9 times. Uh, Happened to be a Republican. I mean, it's just
Oh, I'd make my shocked face if I could, but it's overused.
not so shocking. It's true. So it's just again a distraction. We stopped talking about the Epstein files, which the rest of the world's still putting video out there. Very disturbing video. The ties to the people are still resigning from their jobs based on being in those files. But we have the biggest pedophile in the main office, and he doesn't
Yeah,
seem to understand that he was in it and that they scrubbed 47,000 references or whatever to him. That's what our FBI does. I mean, Cash
yeah,
Patel
that's what they're
yesterday
doing.
was caught signing photos of himself autographing. Who
Dude,
wants
that
that?
guy, his high school years must have been so miserable.
I mean, you're going to give those out at school or something? I just don't get
I know, right? Send him off to all your fans to answer your fan mail.
it.
He's a joke. And especially now when, there may be a legitimate reason to be a little bit more on guard against, terrorism because, we basically pissed on a hornet's nest. But,
Absolutely.
don't worry, Cash App Patel's in charge. I'm sure he's in rare form getting into the office the next day after playing an 11:30 men's league game where,
What a-
he can little Bender can toddle around on his ankles and pretend to be a hockey player.
Well, as long as he's got the jersey and wears the uniform well. Am I right?
Hmm.
All about how you look. He's very unserious, as you say. These are not serious people.
They are not.
Um, And then they talked a little bit about the economy being so super, but I just keep seeing more statistics about how nothing's affordable. Obviously, groceries, nobody wants to talk about that. But housing is a big thing. They made that big stink about not allowing single home dwellings to be bought up by not hedge funds. Who am I thinking of here? They're not
Uh,
allowing like conglomerates to buy up,
conglomerates, corporations.
yeah, to buy up single dwelling homes. Um,
Well,
and
the
that
interesting thing was you couldn't buy any more if you already owned like 700. It was some ridiculously high number.
Yeah, I was going to say it's already done. So it's great that you're talking about it now. Home ownership is where it is. They're not transferring unless it's 60 plus to 60 plus type of thing. But the statistics just get worse. Gen Z is struggling to make payments for rent or a mortgage. It's 67%. You're talking about 7 out of 10 kids. Sure, they'll say they're adults, but if they're living in your house, they're not getting the full adult experience of not living under their parents' roof, but they also can't afford it. The stat was $111,000 to be able to afford a house. That's if you can find one in your price range. $76,000 if you just want to rent someplace, and that generally comes with a roommate. I mean, what are we doing to these kids? 53 to 54% of millennials and Gen Xers, same thing. The boomers at 36%, struggling to afford. Sounds like somebody that maybe has a problem not overspending type of thing. Because the boomers were basically
Maybe
handed everything.
they were, but again, a lot of them maybe, I don't know, maybe they had a problem in the 2008 crisis and never caught up. I mean, it's still an alarmingly high number for an
Sure.
affluent generation. You're talking about a third,
Yeah.
and these these are people who are towards the end.
Sure. And then sprinkle in some medical costs type of thing. That could be really.
Hmm. Oh yeah. So
So,
it's a serious problem. But again, we have people that don't care. They really don't care.
yeah. And that generally comes through generational wealth, right? That they just don't care. They don't really care what these kids are doing. My kid goes to private school. My kid goes to Catholic school. Fill in the blank. I don't really care what your kid's doing.
Hmm.
And that brings me to some things on education. Um, there's a lot of I mean, 2008, 62% of teachers were satisfied with their job. 2022, that was down to 12%. 28% of US teachers say living comfortably on their present income. They don't get paid, they're underappreciated, and they're doing more and more of the job of parents.
Hmm.
50% of kindergarten teachers report that their students have difficulty using the bathroom on their own.
Jeez.
A kindergarten is young, I get that, but you should at least know the process before you come in there. A lot of kindergartens, you have to be potty trained. You can't be wearing a diaper.
Yeah.
Um, in our state, people hold kids back so that they can really excel and dominate.
Hmm.
That 7-year-old starting kindergarten is really tearing it up. But you should know, you drop your drawers and you find the bowl and you point at it type of thing. That they're not able to do that is showing that maybe the parents aren't able to educate them due to overwork, as you pointed out, working single mom, single dad, working 2 jobs or even 2 working parents, that they just don't have that time. We certainly don't prioritize it, as W.
Oh
Bush
yeah.
said. So American to be working 2 and 3 jobs. Isn't that great?
Oh, what a great American. Yeah, that's so American, working 3 jobs, no health
And
insurance.
they'll do anything for the cells of these babies, but then once they come out, we're a little bit indifferent.
Oh yeah, well, and they'll do anything. They'll ship all kinds of cash overseas,
Sure.
18 billion to Israel, where they do have free daycare, free education, free healthcare. Um, look at the money we're pissing away every day in Iran.
A lot.
So yeah, they don't care. They don't want the money spent on people here. They would rather piss it away, and it's just it's obscene.
But we'll create outrage by talking about abortion, even though once the kids come out, we really don't give a shit.
Yeah,
These
pull
same,
yourself up by your own diaper strap, kid.
yeah,
What do you want? Free ride?
these same kids are having trouble cooperating with others. They can't follow instruction very well. They can't speak well enough to even be understood in some cases. Also, tying your shoes. Um, I know it's weird, but I kind of remember learning how to tie my shoes. I know the Perinos helped me out with that, and I know where I was when I finally got it. But putting on a coat, I mean, you know,
Oh man.
it's just it's a little scary for these kids moving forward, and some of it I think we've put screens into these classrooms so early that it can be a real distraction. I'm not anti-technology by any means, but they did have some stats that students that took hand notes scored 28% higher on conceptual questions than those that were taking notes on a laptop. Um, there's a lot of distraction that goes on, and it doesn't stop at school. So we leave, we have our phones, we go home, we have our computers, video games, everything's online. And again, I'm not saying, hey, let's go back to the Stone Age, but we talked several weeks ago about Sweden putting $110 million into textbooks, bringing them back into the classroom. Does that mean
Hmm.
they're not going to use tablets? No, but it's not going to be the end all be all that this is all we do. I mean, shit, you and I didn't grow up on tablets, and it's hard to stay hyper focused for too long. Uh, not only that, but also understanding it, comprehending it, and then like applying it. Good luck.
Yeah.
What's on the other channel, buddy?
Yeah. I mean, Jesus, I've noticed it. I mean, my attention span is shortened because you scroll through YouTube shorts and it's hard to stop.
Yeah, and they're entertaining. Don't get me wrong, but
They know what you like, and that's the scary thing. They know exactly what I like and what I want to see and what I'm going to find interesting. And I get it. I just don't know how, once that, much like the Epstein files, once that toothpaste is out of the tube, how do you squeeze it back in?
well, you really can't. And then it becomes generational. But I think that, like anything, you have to realize that, hey, maybe we have a problem here. Maybe we're not number one in math and English for a
Hmm.
reason, or science. That we don't even care about those things anymore. I mean, we've run off how many scientists, how many PhDs have left because we're just not that interested in having them anymore, right? What are
Yeah.
you guys doing anyway? I mean, that gets brain drain. That affects
Hmm.
a nation. It's not just this generation. It'll be the next generation, and it'll continue. It's like we got to get our value system a little bit back to into whack, and not just be like down on the woke and stupid
Well,
shit.
yeah. And, throwing out, nonsense answers and blaming, the boogeyman, DEI, wokeness, and what's the old saying? When you're in a hole, stop digging.
That's right. At
We
least
don't seem to
recognize
have
you're
gotten that
an
memo.
Indian one. You're spot on there. So I just find it kind of interesting that we want to blame the teachers. Meanwhile, these teachers go out and buy supplies for their students. They are underpaid. They're overworked.
And they're
And they,
leaving.
yeah, and they're leaving. And they deal with a very important commodity. If you just want to base it as that of these kids. These kids are our future. I mean, they're going to be running the country one day. I know. Trump doesn't feel that way, but all of our time comes eventually.
Trump's runway is a lot shorter. So yeah, he's not too concerned about climate change, any of that shit. He doesn't care. Trump's
Good
managed to
point.
enrich himself
Well,
in the
he's
past year to an obscene level, and he doesn't care.
he is continuing to do that at a very high level. I was going to pop up these two. I think we talked about the other day with Turning Point USA, starting in Arkansas. We're going to put it into every classroom. It's going to be amazing. And Charlie this, Charlie that. My good news to that was it's only 3 days in, or maybe 2 days since that big event. There's Erica, always this close to tears, even though the truth is she did work for Epstein.
Hmm.
She's that teary eyed. And I haven't seen her with her kids, and she really doesn't seem to grieve her husband. But the University of Arkansas chapter of Turning Point is uh, disaffiliating itself with the national group. They have concerns about messaging and the focus of the organization. They're not comfortable with the use that every time they ask something, they say, Charlie would have said this, or Charlie would have wanted that.
Charlie would have wanted the Epstein files released.
And he did.
Yeah, and Charlie would not have wanted us in Iran.
Correct. And now he's not here. Hmm.
Yeah, that
Strange.
whole thing is just shady as hell. Why did he have ex-Mossad as a security detail?
Well, he had fired them, and then the day of that event, Mossad was back as his security.
Yeah.
Strange. And then his wife just puts the slipper right on, and it fits. Amazing. Amazing. That was one of my happy endings or good news was that there some pushback. They're just not going to fall in line because it's Arkansas. You know, people are starting to catch on. The other thing was that a federal judge blocked RFK Jr.'s proposed changes to the childhood vaccine schedule and his remaking of the advisory panel. So stop right there. You continue to do you, RFK Jr., but vaccines work. We talked about the alert the other day. There was a level 2 polio virus alert. Like, give me a break, guys. We've been through
Seriously.
this. We don't hear about the measles anymore, but we know that they were raging in several states. We just don't want to talk about it. Mumps
Mhm.
popped up, as we had talked about, but you're not seeing much of that out there either. It just doesn't go away. And if you're not vaccinated, it's certainly going to continue to spread to the others that aren't vaccinated in your community. But hey, we're just telling you what it is. We can't.
Yeah, but
It's
hey, listen, if RFK wants to snort coke off a dirty toilet, more power to you, man. You
for
do
sure.
you. But
No
if
doubt.
I feel it's a good idea to get my kid or myself vaccinated, I should be able to do it.
I think so too. And that again, that should be between you and your doctor.
Yeah, somebody that's actually qualified to talk about these things.
Yeah.
And so, and I was watching One Battle After Another the other night. Excellent movie, really deserving of the Academy Award that it won. But Sean Penn's character reminded me so much of RFK Jr.
Really? I didn't see it.
The way he spoke, the way he looked, it's worth watching. Really good.
Okay. I might check that out. Um, on another positive front, the unionized team that works for CBS's streaming service went on a 24-hour strike. It got pretty heavy with Weiss, the woman that took over and is running CBS into the ground.
I'm embarrassed to admit that she's from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we won't mention that again. But
Never.
yeah, so we had talked about this before. If you had the Teamsters or the Truckers Union stopped rolling down the road, people would notice. I applaud that union for having issue with how CBS is being run into the
Yeah.
ground and doing something about it. It's going to cost them pay. I'm sure it'll cost some of them their job more than likely because these people are pretty spiteful. But hey, it's a good start, and I appreciate them doing it. Lastly, Florida had a bill that was going to ban marrying your first cousin. Seems like a no-brainer. It did not pass. They're one of 18 states that still allow it, which I didn't realize that 1 in 7,000 people are born from incest or inbreeding.
Jesus. Well, have you ever heard of the Habsburg dynasty from Europe? Yeah, they inbred a lot, and they got worse and worse and worse as the decades went on. You had the development of the giant Habsburg chin, and the last Habsburg emperor was just a menace. Feeble-minded, couldn't move. Just
start barking like a dog.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure you've seen on TikTok that family in West Virginia that reporter went out to see.
Oh, the Wild and Wonderful Whites, right? Yeah.
Weird.
Really weird. It
Those
was the
guys,
Weird and Wonderful Whites, but yeah, the Wild and Weird Whites, but yeah, really, really weird.
and eventually, because people started going missing, and they just figured, oh, they probably got lost or whatever. But enough people got missing, had gone missing that they went and visited the family, and it wasn't like they were, abducting people. But if you happen through there, what did they know? Not a lot. And they did torture some of these people. A few of the people got away, and eventually, the feds came in. I think it was the state police, and they just closed the road. I mean, those people aren't going anywhere, and as long as people can't wander back there, no harm, no foul.
And it's a common sense solution.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of funny because they're like, "Hey, you be you, do your thing."
Oh yeah, no, that's a different one. They made there was a documentary I think HBO did, and it was maybe I don't know 10 or 15 years ago, maybe even longer. But it was about a family in West Virginia, the White family, and they were not murdering people or torturing anybody. They were just kind of inbred and just way off the grid and yeah, just really out there.
Well, maybe it's something in the water, West Virginia, but this family was a little bit crazy. And again, I think it's like a big dog with a ball type of thing. They just didn't know. These guys come through, they bat them around a little bit, maybe thrash them with some pitchforks. I don't know. I don't know what they were doing. But people did come up missing. Let me see if I can pop these people up. Ray Whitaker. I think it was the Whitakers is who it was.
The wacky Whitakers.
The wacky Whitakers. I'll just put this up and you check it out. But it fucks with you. It's just not a healthy thing. It's not something you should be doing. But
No, it's just, yeah, no. Inbreeding, not good.
no.
Don't do it.
I mean, this
For
doesn't
God's
even
sake.
pop up. Huh. Well, I don't know why the photo won't pop up. There's a lot of commentary on it. Maybe I should know why, but wow, really crazy people. Anyway, inbreeding bad. Okay,
Bad, don't do it.
Cousin, not the process. Okay, find
Yeah,
somebody.
no, don't sleep with your first cousin. Don't marry them. Don't sleep with them. Just no.
I mean, you'd think you could you could all agree on that, but yeah, no.
Yeah, no. Kissing cousins is not a compliment.
No, it's not. Most of this is on YouTube, so that's never going to pop up for me. But trust me, there's a certain look when you do enough inbreeding. It's very disturbing
Mm-hmm.
and
Just yeah. If you have any questions, just Google the Habsburg chin.
okay. But this is the Whitakers, the most inbred family in the world.
Jesus. Well, the Habsburgs were doing it a lot longer.
All right, here I'll pop it up just so you get an idea.
Oh God.
The guy on the right just barks like a dog. Like wasn't really like going after anybody or like upset with anybody, but to that point he was still didn't know how to communicate. I mean, I don't even know what they're reading, but anyway, it just seemed weird to me that Florida couldn't even pass that bill, and that there were 18 other states that also allow you to marry your first cousin. It just seems strange, but nothing
Very
compared
strange.
to what's going to come tomorrow, I guess. More weird.
Who knows?
But anyway, a couple of positive things. I don't know that one was great, but do you have a happy ending other than Gino's back?
Ooh, yeah, that was going to be my leadoff right there. He's back, and it looks like he's going to continue to stick around.
2 goals last night. He looked very strong, and yeah,
Gino.
Penguins got a big win against the Avalanche, which that's probably the best team in hockey they played last night.
Oh, it is. But yeah, by far the best team in hockey. So yeah, Gino Machino's back.
Yeah, it's kind of
And
nice to see.
so they play them next week. They play them a week from today in Pittsburgh. So that should be interesting to see how that goes. But you know, Pens can play with anybody.
They can. Lazada got hurt. He broke his hand, so he'll be out 4 weeks. If they make the playoffs, he should be back. But he was a big catalyst on that fourth line to
Mhm.
just grind.
That's a
team up.
great fourth line. I mean, they haven't had a fourth line like that since the Cup years.
You're right. So hopefully that'll continue. But that was a nice win for them. Kind of surprising to a lot of people that they were able to hang and really put it on them. So go Pens.
Go Pens.
All right, Billy. Well, I'll let you go today. As always, I appreciate your time and feedback. It's nonsense. Yeah. Well, you didn't say anything.
I said good job.
Oh, good job to you too.
Oh yeah, I thought you were giving me the Irish goodbye since it's St. Patrick's Day.
I really should. You got anything green on? Because you'll be getting some pinches.
No, I did not. I was probably the only person at my workplace today that didn't have any, and it just wasn't. I wasn't thinking about it today when I left the house. So,
Well, I'll see you later.
pinchy.
Put on your stars green. That's next.
There you go.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, good job.
You too. Thank you. See ya.
Yeah.